I'm going to show you how to use the Details Backcheck tool. So the Details Backcheck tool is a tool for checking if profiles match their respective callouts. So to access the tool, you'll need access to the Revit Beta tab. So after you have that access, you can navigate to www.beta, to this model checker button, and then this screen will pop up. And then you need to navigate to the Details Backcheck section. In this case, it's step 5. And then just hit Get Started. When you hit this Get Started button, it's going to load in a bunch of data that's for the details that are inside of drafting views. Once it has that data, it can match up the drafting views to the profiles to see if they match. Once the data has been loaded once, then you don't need to hit that Get Started button again. It'll have that data available. So it's finished loading, and we have some data here. We have a table, and what you're looking at, each of these rows is a callout. So these details are the details that are inside of that callout view. And the profiles here are the profiles that are in the crosshair of this callout. And then the same goes for these cock joint columns here. The profiles are the cock joint profiles in the crosshairs, and the details are the details in the view. There's also a column for profile modifiers, which you can type into. And then if you click this Change Profile Modifiers Value button, it'll update it in the project. So if you click on any of these rows, it'll take you to that callout. And in this case, this row is highlighted pink, which means there's an error. Looking at this legend here, pink means that there's an error between the detail and the profile. The yellow, if the row is yellow, it would mean that there's an error between the cock joint profile and the detail. And a red would mean that there's an error between the profile, the mullion profile and the mullion detail, and the cock joint profile and the cock joint detail. And a green just means that you've looked at it, and for whatever reason you decide, hey, it's okay, even though there's an error. And you do that by checking this is okay column. So just getting into it, the process you would take when checking is you would go through the errors, navigate to the callout, and in this case, you can see that this detail, the UGGB 1101, isn't the same as the mullion profile, the SW75 1171. So you can go into that drafting view and say, hey, like why does this match? There's a UGGB 1101, whereas the profile is SW75 1171. So it's kind of like a flag, like that something's wrong. Maybe the profile is incorrect, or maybe this is the wrong callout. But it's kind of at your discretion to figure out what action to take. So once you've gone through this, figured out what action you're going to take, you go to the next item in the table. In this case, it looks like these jams don't match. Oop, did I click the right thing? I did. So this detail is not the same as this jam profile. So the same issue as with the first callout. There seems to be some problem. What action you need to take is up to you. It's a flag. And then if you go to the next callout, it looks like it's the same thing. The detail and the profile don't match, but this case it's just on the right side. So you take the necessary action there. Go to the next one. In this case, it's transition. In the transition, there actually isn't any detail families, so it's not really this tool isn't really gonna help you. So I'm just gonna click it as okay. And if there's an issue, you need to use some other judgment to figure out if there's a problem. You could also unclick this checkbox, and it'll give you all of the callouts in the view. but the ones that are white mean that the profiles, the details, and the caulk joints all actually match up, so there shouldn't be a problem. But in some cases, it might be advantageous to, just skim through these to make sure there's nothing that's out of the ordinary. So after you're done checking the first view, you would repeat the process for all the rest of the views in the project. Up here is a user interface for changing views. You can select any of the views in this dropdown, say elevation 6, hit the selected button, and it'll take you to that view. Alternatively, you can hit the next or previous buttons, and it'll take you to the next or previous items in this dropdown. Another option you could do is say that you're in an elevation view. You could just hit current view, and it'll grab all the data for the view. So I'll go to 20. It gives you 20. So that's just a basic rundown of how this tool works, how you could use it to go through views, flag potential errors between the mullion profile and the callout that is next to it. Thank you.